My name is Bob van Leeuwen. I teach human science in the lower secondary, PE in both lower and upper secondary, and history in the upper secondary. History is a mandatory subject in the upper secondary. In S5 you get 2 blocks, and in S6 and S7 you can choose to either have 2 blocks or 4 blocks of history. So history actually works in the European school that it goes chronologically up. So in S7 we're going to stop closest by with the Cold War, and in every class before we go down. So in S5 at the moment we do absolutism, Enlightenment period, 17th century, 18th century. In S6 we will do the 19th century up to First World War, and then in S7 we will do the 20th century with Second World War and the Cold War. So history is actually 2 different parts. We have the open questions, so the analysis questions, where you give them a question about how or why something happened, and where the students really have to analyze how things go in history and why things happened. And we have source analysis, where the students get a specific source, a document, a picture, a cartoon, and they have to analyze the cartoon and tell what the message is of the cartoon or what the author wants to say with something. And those 2 things combined are also coming back in the assessments, and that's what we work most on in class. The European system doesn't really have a subject like social studies, so we try to implement it in the history classes very much. One of the topics, for example, what we did recently was that we talked about the American elections. So how do the elections work? How is it possible that a president gets elected with not having the most votes, or the other way around? So we try to also put emphasis on current events in history class. So I hope that you know a bit more about history, that you're interested, and of course I really hope to see you next year.